been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a really out your podcast to rep to. My name is Marcel P. Black. I have not been on this thing in a long, long time, been living life and everything in between. But in this beautiful January of 2026, um, I'm about to bring on a guest. I think you are the first. I don't think I've ever, I don't think I've ever interviewed a woman on my podcast before. I definitely haven't.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I haven't. There's a shame on me, or what have you. But that's my bad. That's my bad. So it's beautiful that we start on 2026 like this. Ladies and
Cool.
gentlemen, from Raleigh, North Carolina, Lena Jackson. Woo! I, I, I,
What's
I, don't, I
that?
don't I don't have sound effects in my budget. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta do what I said.
You're supposed to drop a funk flex bomb like
And then how you doing today? How you doing in this 2026?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I can't complain. I mean I can, but
Oh,
I
you are gonna
won't.
complain.
You see what I'm saying? But no, I'm still very much blessed and I'm happy, I'm here, made it through. So
Here we go.
yeah.
First question I always ask people. Now we've never met in person, but as far as on the book of face, do you remember how we met?
Oh wow. On the Book of Face. I feel like it's been a long time,
Right.
like a really long time. I personally feel like I may have followed you first,
Mhm.
but um I'm trying to remember the year. I'm trying to remember
It was definitely before the pandemic because I was looking back. So definitely
hmm
before the pandemic. I'm assuming I'm assuming it's from either Ghost Dog or Cesar Comanche. Cause like
Okay.
that's kind of how I got North Carolina in my algorithms.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm assuming this dude's there. You know what I'm saying? And just from afar, it's been admiring what you've been doing as an artist, you know what I'm saying, as a mother, as a partner, working in the mental health field or what have you. And, I feel like we agree on a lot of the same things, you know what I'm saying, politically and just kind of where these things go. And so it's
Yeah.
always kind of endeared me to you. Then I listen to your music. I'm like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But just your personhood is, you know what I'm saying? I was, oh yeah, she's a dope individual. I forgot to meet you. I
Appreciate it.
haven't got to meet you yet. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
I told him I was about to interview you. He said, "What's up?"
What's
Um,
up, Alfred?
yeah, what up? What up? So, question: How did you first get introduced into hip hop, and what specifically made you want to be an MC?
Um, Getting into hip hop was really a progression from R&B, like old school R&B. Or it's a combination of things. So my father, when I was a kid, he there was like this thrift store he kind of used to have, and inside the thrift store was a record store. So like I discovered so much at that time, like R&B. I'm talking like stylistics, of course the Michael Jacksons, but like the when they were on 45s. I know a lot of people don't remember what 45s are. But if anybody can envision the typical vinyl and shrink it down, so they had Michael Jackson 45s and stuff like that. And just gradually there was some hip hop vinyl, not a lot. Um but you know how you hear a sample one day and it's like it's something you heard from the 50s, like that was a spark for me because I'm just like, oh, there's a connection. There's a connection when you start hearing like some of the samples and stuff like that. So I honestly thank R&B for my love for hip hop because it really kind of bridged that gap. Um as far as me, actually wanting, to do it myself. I actually started as a youngin, writing like poetry, short stories, and
We
stuff
all
like
did.
that.
We all
So
did.
yeah. Writing poetry was something that was really near and dear to me. It's kind of how I got through with all the things I was going through just as a youngin, and just going through some stuff low income, certain neighborhoods and stuff like that. But as I got a little bit older, a young teenager or whatever, like I was like I was one of the guys, one of the guys, and they used to be in their ciphers, and I'm just like, man, I want to do
Right.
that. I want to do that, and it's just like it's like the typical like the movies like, where they're like, you can't do that, and I'm like, shh, watch me, So there was that spark, like it was pure art, and then there was like this competitiveness that kind of kicked in, when I was a youngin'. So that kind of did it for me, and then I heard Queen Latifah.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like I heard and saw Queen Latifah. So it was just like, oh yeah, like everything was just flowing in that direction, for me. Um, and so like she's definitely like an icon to me, somebody that I kind of looked up to, just as far as like that lyrical representation that it's seeing a woman just kind of like, body their music like that. And then even the physical representation, like where, she want a skinny mini and I'm not either, so like that was a really big inspiration for me.
Why do they call you the wolf?
They call me the wolf because of my intensity, mostly when I'm on stage. So a lot of times when people greet me, and I get this from most people, a lot of times when people greet me, especially if they don't know what I do at all. I can kind of come off as like the shy one, like I'm shy, kind of like the nice one, sweetheart, sometimes the pushover. And so when I actually hit the stage is cathartic for me. It's like this is where I'm getting all my anxiety out, all my emotion out. Like that place is it for me. And so what people see is all of that, that emotion, that intensity, that passion. And I think just, I mean, years ago, it was just a couple of people here and there, like, oh, she's a beast. She's a wolf. And it's just like I heard that a couple of times and I was like, hmm. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take a wolf. I like wolves. So
I was looking at your website. I saw your bio, and it said, was it woman, wolf? I can't remember what the third thing was. I was like, wolf is an absolutely interesting name. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get the backstory on it.
yeah.
All right. So were you born in Raleigh? What was you born?
Yes, born in Raleigh, raised in Raleigh.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
All right.
so
So what role has the city of Raleigh in the state of North Carolina played in your development as an MC?
well, Raleigh has been my home base when I was coming up, as a young adult. Um the music scene here was it was a little different. I feel like we kind of had to, I'm talking about hip hop artists in general. I think they had to fight for more space then. That's just my perception. To be seen and heard, like in the scene, as far as venues, as far as just space, in Raleigh. At least from my perception, there was a lot of space given for things like rock and stuff like that, which is cool because I like rock music too. Um, but when I was a much younger adult, it seemed like, I had to really search, for some of those spaces where I could, be the most creative. And I discovered, open mics. I always encourage open mics for up and coming people, because it's a lesson in practice, but it's also a lesson in humility, you know. And so I feel like open mics in general kind of trained me a little bit, when it came to the performance piece. And it also helped me learn how to accept feedback. I'm still working on that one.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, Raleigh did that for me. And as I for a certain amount of time, like I stopped for a little bit. It was really frustrating. I didn't have the same resources at the time. And then, being a woman and kind of trying to do things on your own and being that young, like people play it in your face a lot.
Mm.
So I kind of stopped and I just focused on other things. But when I had that fire under me to like really go at it again, you know, I was thankful to platforms like Carolina Waves, for example. Like, they curate, shows, open mics, all types of things, and that was kind of like I was like, well, let me show up to an open mic like I remember doing, and it just it all kind of came back. It was muscle memory, and I was just like, yeah, this is where I belong as far as the art is concerned. So Raleigh is always going to have like a special place in my heart, no matter where I go. Durham and Raleigh are two different places, y'all.
Mm.
So I just want a lot of outsiders don't know that because it got Raleigh/Durham. But I love Durham. I lived there for a while. So Durham definitely helped as well. So I just want to give that shout out because I love the Bull City, but everywhere I've gone, I've lived at, Virginia, DC, whatever, they've all contributed to my growth as an artist in some way, shape, or form.
What about so I'm a diehard Justice League stan. I'm Fonte's my favorite rapper, Little Brother's my favorite group. For me, you know what I'm saying? Like Justice League was my native tongues.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Dead Prayers with my public enemy. Justice League is
Mm-hmm.
my native tongues, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
so I was talking to Cesar came on my and talked to my class. I teach hip hop studies. He talked to my class about a couple of months ago, and he was saying that himself, or probably the J League wouldn't be what they were without North Carolina
Mm-hmm.
or have you. And so what was like when you were coming up, when you was in high school, like who were like some of the artists on the local scene like making noise? Like who was moving around? Was there anybody that like you felt like that was tangible, even if they blew up or what have you, like anybody tangible that you was like really checking for, you know what I'm saying, when you was coming up?
Well, when I was coming up, I mean, woof, I'm getting old because I'm thinking back. I'm thinking back. High school was a complicated time for me because I wound up actually, I've actually never talked about this publicly, but it's cool. I actually wound up leaving high school very early. And I left high school to get a GED, and I actually wound up being in college like 2 years earlier than my peers.
Mm,
So it was definitely a finesse because I hated high school. I loved education. I hated high school. It
mm,
was racism. It was all types of stuff happening, and I was like, I want to go to college. I just don't want to wait.
mm.
So I devised a plan and I executed it. And so I was kind of out there in the world I guess a little sooner, than my peers and stuff like that. And I mean, the Justice League, man, they had their stuff going on, man. I remember um Kazi as well, like had open mics at that time. If anybody sees this and remembers that, like for real, like expound on that memory. But I remember meeting Kazi, and he was doing open mics in like the Chapel Hill, Carborough area. Um and I looked up to him. I don't even know if he knows, but now he'll know if he sees this. I definitely looked up to him because I was just like, wow, like he was a decent individual, extremely talented. And at that point in time, I think he had put out a project that I think Ninth Wonder had. I think he might have produced like the
Is it
entire thing.
Kazi?
Yeah, Kaze,
Oh, no, okay,
Kazi. Yeah.
okay,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, you got. I'm gonna send you info. I'm gonna send you the links,
Sure,
and
sure.
you'll catch it though. You'll catch it. What you see,
Okay, got you,
what you,
got you.
what you see in here, you'll catch it. And I was just like, wow, like, and this was before Ninth Wonder was the name that but he was getting there, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, like that was a big influence for me because it felt tangible. It felt tangible that the things that I wanted to do like I could do because I know somebody that lives an hour away probably, that is able to do it as well. My thing was just making sure that I was good enough, and I mean like making sure I'm sharp with what I'm writing, with what I'm creating, whatever, I mean, like I threw so much stuff in the trash. You have no idea. you know, um, but I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, I mean, no, just so I was thinking about this. Okay. Is North Carolina the South?
Yes, it is the South. Um, yes, that's the short answer.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because people be like I'm so like I'm born in Southern Oklahoma, which is people debate is it the South or not. It wasn't a state that had slavery because it was Indian territory, but it's below the
Mhm.
Mason Dixon, so it's the South, but it's a different type of South, right? It's a different type of
Yeah.
South. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Louisiana for 20 years, which is absolutely the deep South or whatever. It's different.
Hmm.
I've been to, you know what I'm saying, Raleigh. I think I played Greensboro twice. I played
Okay.
Asheville 3 times, and I played Raleigh, I think either 2 or 3 times or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I played because every show I've ever done in Raleigh was at the Deep South. Rest in peace to the Deep South. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's this, but like it's funny how like rap gives places identity,
Hmm.
and so people think that all South is like rural and country, right?
Yeah.
And so when you have if you only know Little Brother, that's not now. If you listen to Fonte and Pooh talk, they definitely sound like Southerners. They have a Southern accent. If you listen to Knife talk, definitely have a Southern accent, but
Hmm.
their beats aren't Southern. And so people are basing North Carolina. I know a lot of people base North Carolina. Is it the South based off where they do boom bap? The whole state is not the South. I'm like, that's the dumbest nigga thinking ever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
like for me, it's like the South has 13 different states. Kentucky's not the same as Texas. Alabama's not the same as Florida. Virginia's not the same as Louisiana. Like the South really is the most diverse region.
Hmm.
And like to me, like the Justice League sound or whatever, I call it the North Carolina hop. Like it's a different way that Southern boom bap producers chop their sample. So it's I don't know. And so I always say this like I'm not from there. I have my opinion on why I think it's the South or whatever, but I needed you to confirm. You know what I'm saying? The person born and raised around, you know what I'm saying? Because yes, it's on
Yeah.
the East Coast. Yes, it's in the Eastern time zone. Like, like the terrible understanding that God bless his soul, Pimp C had. Well, it's the Eastern time zone. It can't be the South. You know what I'm saying? But more North Carolina stuff. Give me a North Carolina hip hop Mount Rushmore.
Oh my Lord. Um,
Whatever criteria you want to put them on.
mm, Kazi, Cahill. Um, I might jump on the timeline a little bit. I might jump on the timeline a little bit. Shoot, how many folks on Rushmore?
You do your top
Was
five
it
if you
four?
want to. You do top five if you want to.
Um, hmm. Um, I'm so stumped. And you know what? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'm just gonna throw this out here. And I'm gonna answer your question. First of all,
What's
I'm
up? What's
not
up?
trying
What's
to
up?
I'm not trying to dodge the question. But I don't know if this happens in your area, but usually when we list any type of list, like a top five, a top three, or whatever, some folks take it personal.
No,
And
that's cool. You know what? So as as we speak, somebody made a top 30 in Oklahoma list, and it's in shambles. Disc records, reaction videos, like once a year. But for me, it's just like making a list or like just saying your personal preference. Who do you personally feel like? I guess maybe it's music that you enjoy the most. Who put on for
Mhm.
North Carolina the most? Whatever criteria you want to choose. You know what I'm saying?
Well, for me, like I really base my Mount Rushmore more so off of inspiration.
Gotcha.
So like, Kazi and K Hill like instantly came to mind because both of them had inspired me from a very, young age. Like there's not this huge age gap, but I was just much younger in certain spaces, just because I was just a little bit freer, as far as like being out of high school and in college and just being in these, these spaces or whatever. Um, but like as I kind of fast forward, to maybe like, more current times, there's people that I don't necessarily look at as my big brothers or my big sisters, but they're still brothers and sisters to me, and I personally feel like Juice Lord is making his way on that Mount Rushmore, as far as the inspiration is concerned. Shame is getting there, boy. Like, like those are, I call them my brothers. I call them my bros, Um, but and I know like the time frame is just a little bit different, but like they're definitely, they definitely up there, on that list. And they're also good people just in general, so I take all of those things kind of like into account. Um,
One of the first shows I did, I think the first show I did in Raleigh is 2000, either 17 or 18. Juice Lord was on there. He's a lot younger, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I met Shane. We did a festival in Lincoln, Nebraska in 2019, like September 2019. We
yeah,
did a show. We did a show in Lincoln, and then we ended up doing like another show in Omaha. And we've been locked in ever since. That's my guy. It's been from the, I haven't seen them since, but we text every now and then. But like just from this side of the internet, man, it's been beautiful to watch both of them grow. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Like just watch, and it's like you see the success, and like we stayed in the same Airbnb, like what I'm saying, thugging it out, me and Shane. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
At my man Papstein's house, and then he finally put us in the Airbnb, and when they dropped us off from Lincoln to Omaha, like Pap kind of dropped us off at a random hotel. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, well, look, I got to get back to Lincoln, so I'm gonna drop y'all off here. Y'all can Uber where
yeah.
y'all gotta go. Like that's the type of trenches we was in. You know what I'm saying? And so to see like everything the same is accomplished, then I'm always saluting or whatever.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. They both work very very hard. They both have beaten odds. They both inspire in their own ways. I remember when I first met Juice Lord, which I don't even know if I met him that day, but I remember just going to a show a long time ago. I was pregnant with my son. That's
mm,
how, and my son is 8. So I was pregnant with my son, and I remember going to this show, and I had never seen Juice Lord perform, nothing like that. So I didn't know who he was at the time, and he performed, and like as soon as he started rapping, I was just like, "Oh Lord," like it was one of those like you clutch your pearl moments.
right, right.
And I remember my son, who my son has always been chill, like even like when I was pregnant with him, like he didn't do a lot of kicking and stuff like that. But I remember he was kicking me that night.
He turned the
I was,
baby up, huh? He turned the
hey,
baby
look,
up.
I'll never forget that because I was like, okay, calm down, it's all
Yeah,
right.
right. If
Yeah,
anybody
so
listen, if anybody gonna make a baby jump in the bed, it's gonna be Juice Lord. Because I remember the show because like Ghost Dog had booked it. So like it's myself, it's Ghost Dog. I think Samson was on the bill.
mhm.
Um, oh gosh. I can't remember, but like it was older artists, more kind of boom bapish or whatever.
Yeah,
If Juice gonna get on the stage, it's going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like I don't know, I always tell like younger artists, it's like we're not asking you to rap like KRS One, but disrespect the culture and the craft.
oh
So if you
yeah,
so if you want to do a more of a turn up type situation, if you want to do your style, the head's gonna respect it if you get up there. Of course, you're not rapping over your vocals. You really spitting, you really rhyme, you really got good breath control. It ain't gotta sound like everybody else. You just gotta be dope with it. And so that's what definitely stuck out. It was because he was like I said, he was probably early 20s, you know what I'm saying? Much
hmm
younger than like much younger than probably anybody on the bill at the time, and he damn near had one of the most memorable sets or whatever. So that's always dope. He had the baby turning up in the belly. That's crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Juice Lord, shout out to Shane, man. Like those are my folks. Like if they ever needed to hit me up for something, they could. I think they know that too. So, but yeah, dope artists, dope people.
If I was to give my, of course, I'm not in the scene. This is just me outside looking in. If I was to give my North Carolina Mount Rushmore, first would be Fonte.
Mm-hmm.
Second, and probably really second, I could say 1B would be Superstition. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I love man, that dude there, boy. He's a guy that like he'll make you throw away your rhymes. Like listen, like you be it's been times I've been listening, like especially since he's post pandemic, like especially coming off of COVID and stuff like that. And like he had like long COVID and really you couldn't rap for a long time, but you come out, he dropped these projects. I remember I listened to his album, I was on the airplane. And so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm okay, boom, I'm writing or whatever. And I'm like, okay, let me bump this super. I'm just like, select all, delete. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. And then I would say, um, uh, we gotta say Ninth Wonder. We gotta say Ninth. You know
Mm-hmm.
say just he's
Yeah.
not a rapper, of course. And when he did rap, it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? When he tried to rap, that's my dog. He know it wasn't good. Ninth Matic was not it, whatever. But you got, but I mean, just like I love Ninth because of what he means to like southern hip hop culture as an intellectual, as
Yeah.
like when you need like stuff is so New York centric, and so you have
Mm-hmm.
a brother from the South still lives in North Carolina who is regarded when people want to talk to like real hip hop intellectuals, historians, they go to him or whatever. And then I gotta say Mount Rushmore. Uh,
Didi Pablo.
hey man, no, so
Look,
like of course, of course,
I am not saying I'm not doing this to poke fun, but I as I have grown older, I appreciate PD Pablo for what he actually has done, in North Carolina. People, they may crack jokes here and there, but I'm just like, honestly, like he's done a lot. He's done a lot.
I mean,
And
he was definitely the first rapper ever from North Carolina.
yeah,
Um, he went to him and Superstition went to the same high school, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Greenville, I think Greenville in Greenville, North Carolina. They were he told
Oh,
me that was like he said Petey Pablo was really like that. He's like in the streets. He said Petey Pablo was really like that or whatever.
I believe that.
My fourth spot, of course, J. Cole's the most famous from North Carolina. Probably next would be Rhapsody. Um,
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna go personal. I gotta put Cesar Comanche up there. I got to. That's
Oh, yeah.
that I literally call him sensei. I literally like even in my 40s, like that is who when I'm about to crash out. I know if I hit him up on Facebook Messenger, he's gonna tell me the right thing to do. It was a rapper who had like fuck it, I say it. He was having an album release party, and
Okay.
one of our mutual friends had put me right when I first moved to Tulsa. One of our first mutual friends put me on the bill. He was like, "Well, look, you trying to get on some shows?" He said, "I'm an album release party." The venue was paying him, so I don't think he'll mind if I add you to the bill because it's not coming out of his pocket.
Okay.
That's what he was telling me. So, all right, cool. So I'm like, man, what's up with the flyer? You know what I'm saying? What's up with the flyer? What's going on, man? What I need to do? Send my music, the DJ the music. He was like, yeah, man. Uh, Buddy took you off the bill. I'm like, why?
Mm.
He was like, y'all don't know. He put somebody else on. And what made me mad was he put this white dude on that was whack. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude he put on the bill was whack or whatever. And like, how messy am I gonna be in 2026? Well, look, they don't be watching my shit. Nigga can't fuck with me. He can't. He can't, right? And so I'm competitive. Like you turn this. It's funny because you talk about how like you get really intense on stage. People call you the wolf or whatever. I get
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a large dude, big black dude with dreads or whatever. And like I was explaining this to somebody else, like when I really started getting into hip hop for real, like kind of doing stuff as a career, I had already been signed and moved to Atlanta and came back.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like literally, like my first EP that kind of like boosted my name out there,
Yeah.
it dropped 6 months into me being married and 3 days before my daughter was born.
Mm.
So when I came back outside, I wasn't bullshitting. I wasted a lot
Right.
of time in my teens and my 20s. Now I'm 27, 28 years old. And so if I'm outside, I'm not playing with you niggas. Like I got goddamn rent to pay, I got bills to pay, I got to take care of a baby. And so like I approach stuff with like a level of intensity. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, I don't smoke
Yeah.
when I'm in my rapper mode or whatever. And so a lot of the younger artists was like, a lot of the younger artists, they kids, they still living at their parents' house or whatever. And so like, why are you so serious? I'm like, bro, I'm just not playing. It's like I love what I do. And so like a lot of people think I'm mean anyways, right? Because I don't play around. Especially
Yeah.
if I'm leaving my house, bro, I'm leaving my wife and my children. If I'm whatever, if I'm coming out there, it is not, I'm just like I'm locked in. I'm so locked in.
Right.
And I'm very competitive. Like to me, like the type of music that people make, that's all based on preference as far as what you enjoy.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't matter if you were a backpacker, if you were a turn up rapper, if you were a punchline rapper, if you were like a rapper like Tupac, whatever. You like what you like. But I feel like the stage is the even line to where it's about performance now.
Yeah.
Right?
For
Like, you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like, so that's where the real gets separated from the fake. And for me, when I step on the stage, I want all the smoke. I'm with all that. I'm trying to be the best motherfucker. I want when I get off the sage, I want them to be like that fat black motherfucker was the coldest nigga in the room that night, right? So people here, and I kind of gained that mindset because I was an underground conscious rapper. I'm the same age as Boosie. So I'm doing underground conscious rap in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do me. I'm not going to do, I like what they do, but that's not what I do. Right.
Right.
So, in order for me to get on the stage and be remembered, I have to be, because I'm doing something completely different. I have to do the call and response. I have to be energetic. I have to be aggressive, whatever. And so I moved to Tulsa. They're not really competitive like that. And then, like, I cut my teeth in the deep South to where everything is church. So, like,
Yeah.
everything you can do, it feel like a church experience. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if it's from underground rap show to the strip club. It's a religious experience every time. When you go out, when you're enjoying yourself, right? And so I come up here, and so I think that's what he was. I don't know. I don't know why he took me off the bill. Nobody ever told me why, but I felt the way about it. So to speed the story up, I was planning on booking the show and putting him on the bill just so I can get him up out the paint. Like I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? This dude who fronted on me, I feel
Mm-hmm.
such a way about it. I'm about to do this show, a 2-man show, throw a couple $100 in his pocket just to get him on stage and let him have his 30 minutes in front of me and they get on and just got them, you know what I'm saying? Just and I hit up Cesar. I said, Cesar, I feel played. I'm about to crack. This is what I want to do. Because I don't do no internet. I don't do all that argue. I don't do all that type of shit, right? But I was like, just on some hip hop shit. He's like, Brother Black, don't do that, Brother Black. Don't do it to it, man. He's like, you have a better use of energy if you want. Like he does, but I say Cesar talks, right? You know what I'm saying? But I was like, so big shout out to Sensei Cesar Comanche. And that's why I got to put you on my Mount Rushmore because you know what I'm saying? You talked me off the ledge because I'm about to do something that was very, very petty and just not a good use of my energy and or my time.
Respect, respect. He got that energy too that'll calm you down. For
Bro,
real. Like
like
if you thinking about making bad decisions and you get near that man, like it's just like, all right,
and he doesn't
maybe.
he doesn't use like he speaks poetic, but it's very to the point as well.
Yeah.
Like before I go on, so one thing he said that really changed my whole perspective on things, right? So I brought him to Baton Rouge. This 2017, and the show was not well attended. It wasn't, and I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. Him and Ghost Star, they drove all the way from North Carolina to Baton Rouge. The show wasn't well attended. So afterwards, we had Louis, like a little late night diner. We talking, and my good friend is like, man, kind of like, man, we apologize for bringing you out here. Wasn't nobody here. He was like, it's just difficult doing like underground hip hop in Baton Rouge. Now, by this time, I'm already not necessarily touring, but I'm traveling a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say that like I didn't really start touring until like I'm doing like 2 or 3 weeks on the road till later. But I'm traveling a lot. In fact, this was like in 2017, I wanted to say, look, this is when I was on my 15 states of bus campaign. So I was probably about in the halfway through it. So I traveled a bunch of places, right? And so we tell him basically, man, don't even worry about that. He was like, you need to rap where your fans are. He said, I was born in Jackson, North Carolina. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. And as opposed to worrying about what people don't support me, I go rap where my fans are.
Yeah.
He said, go find the culture, wherever the culture is. If the culture's in Portland, Maine, if the culture's in Portland, Oregon, if the culture's in fucking Salt Lake City, Utah, if the culture's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he was like, you find those 10 to 15 Marcel P. Black fans, and you make sure you get to them.
Yeah.
And so it's something that was very rudimentary, right? It's very like it's not like a super complex thing, but the way he said it, it's just like the light bulb clicked or whatever. And so it changed the way that I toured. So now I went from just like trying to get to Atlanta, trying to go to Houston. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go to Atlanta, but let me see what's happening in Birmingham. Let me see what's happening in Athens. And on the way back, I'm gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I found these B and C city markets
Yeah.
that really, really embraced me. So now when I drop a project, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I said, this not rap where your fans are, it's not like, super duper heavy, but the way he explained it as far as like really focusing where your fan base is. And absolutely like really saying like make sure you do the work to create those direct to consumer relationships. Create new ones and maintain the old ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to say so I gotta get back on here. All right. So I'm asking this question before I get into the other stuff. How do you feel about the term female MC? Do you embrace it or do you reject it?
Um, I don't embrace it. Um, but I also don't like aggressively reject it, meaning that, if people regard me as such, like I'm not fighting them on that. You know, people have different language, they have different, perspectives, and I just don't care to waste my breath on why being called a female MC shouldn't matter or whatever the case may be. I honestly leave that up to the men to have those conversations amongst themselves because the most of the time when they differentiate like that, it's among the men. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, you dope for a female, blah 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 blah. It's just like I guess I've just reached a certain stage in my life where it's just like, thank you. Like it's I'm not offended by it, but it's not a term that I particularly enjoy to use for myself. So I'm not sure if the answer makes sense, but it's just one of those things where it's just like I'm not gasping just because someone calls me a female artist or female MC or whatever the case may be. That may be how they identify me. That may be an identifier for them. Um, but for me, man, like, I'm a writer, I'm a rapper, I'm a wordsmith, and whatever people want to like tack onto that, I mean, that's cool. It is what it is.
So I'm always gonna respect whatever sisters say. What you know what I'm saying? I guess my only take to me, because see, I don't look at our condition has been conditioned to automatically think lesser than when we talk about women, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In the patriarchal society, lesser than what we talk about. And so I do think specifically black women have a very, very peculiar, not peculiar, like a different perspective that's very, very important. And so for me, of course, this is me mansplaining and trying not to be misogyny at the same time. But for me, I think that a female MC is very specific because I hear the thing that with female just don't know gender. Female could be anything. Is it a female dog MC? Is it a female kangaroo MC? Whatever, right? So
Yeah.
I understand that, right? You know what I'm saying from a word standpoint. But I do think like like the power in being a woman, like specifically in hip hop. Like I've been teaching hip hop for a long time, and
Yeah.
I would say 90% of the time when we're teaching kids how to create, the girls are always better. Period. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why is because a lot of young boys they so caught up in being tough.
Yeah.
And so they're so caught up in being tough, and I feel like they care a little bit more about what other boys think. And the girls, when it's time to write, they singing, the melodies are there, the bars are there. They're not afraid to try different things artistically, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's some black woman magic type shit.
Mm.
It's you know what I'm saying. And so when I think female MC is just like I do like it, like I said, this was me being honest. Like it's good that you don't fit in with the boys because it's something better, it's something different. That's my take on it. Yes, did that make
No,
sense?
no, it does make sense. And honestly, like for me, like very specifically, like that word female, when you were touching on it, where it could be a kangaroo, like you said, like anything like that. I think it's more so how that language has been regarded in general
Facts.
is the reason why I don't, because otherwise, I mean, like I'm a female human anyway. So like that part, I'm not like, I'm not raising a fuss about that at all. And I love being a woman, I love, other women who rap. Like I'm always, you know, hoping to embrace them and lift them up however I can, especially if they're younger than me. I'm just like, hit me up, hit me up. And if there's any questions you have, whatever the case may be, like I got you and I don't even have to know you. So I do like, celebrate that womanhood aspect. It's what people have done to words
You know
that
what?
makes it.
I blame it on goddamn Omar Gooding, his character Sweet Pea on Baby Boy. Y'all some females. He fucked it up for everybody else. The way he said it. He said it like bitch. The way he said it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that
When he said you
has
females are unstable creatures, that was what 1999, and he ruined it for everything. It's his fault, bro. Oh my goodness.
and that little
Family,
piece,
man.
you are exactly right, because that little piece is like right there in the subconscious somewhere, and it's like, hold a female.
Yeah, the way he
When
fucked it up for everybody.
in reality, it's really not a negative term.
Right.
It's just how people have used it to place, and categorize. Because there are men that see, I was gonna try to be, not cocky because I'm not cocky, but like there are men that I have um surpassed.
Talk that talk, man. We just a really out here podcast. Speak.
It's like I have surpassed, but their feedback to me is like, for a female, you really did your thing. And the implicate how you say words matter, you should know that. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't, or some people do, and they use it to weaponize or shoot a dart at you. And it's just like, so in my mind, you're implying that if I was not a female, if I was a male, then I'd just be all right. You know what I'm saying? But like I will eat you alive either way. Like, stop
No,
playing with me.
I want that. So so I had to check myself. Okay, hear me out. I feel like Rhapsody's last album. Hear me out. I feel like that was her first female hip hop album. So like, and I had to check myself because it was so based in womanhood. I didn't like it at first.
Okay.
I like Rhapsody talking her shit over the ninth wonder, boom, bap, boom, 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 boom. And so I've been a hustler's Honda Accord music. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much anything out of Justice League, I'm tapped in with it, right?
Yeah.
when she was a tomboy rapping with the fellas, I'm tapped in. I hear "Please Don't Cry." I'm like, man, what is this? She talking about pleasuring herself, and why is Marlana talking about being with a married man? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, and it's like the thing about like women in hip hop, like female, let's say female rap, right? Like for the most part, only the raunchy stuff is promoted to women.
Oh yeah.
Like the intelligent stuff, the complex stuff or whatever, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like men are so misogynistic, they don't want to hear that shit. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But only like the like my wife will hear all the Lotto and Cardi and Glow, whatever, but she's not hearing Rhapsody. You know what I'm saying? But like educated, college educated, she has more in common with the Rhapsody, but that's not promoted to women. You know what I'm saying? And so, like
Yeah.
for me, so I'm listening to Please Don't Cry, and it took me 3 or 4 times. I had to really check myself. Like, damn, like, do I like this because it's not good, or is it the first time she's rapping in things that I can't relate to?
Mm.
And so
Okay.
it's so when I say like a female hip hop album, she's making a black woman rap album that is specifically talking about black woman shit or whatever. And I think that's why I got a Grammy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I think that's because she used all of her complexities as a black woman. You know, some stuff that, she wasn't. That might be like, she was with a married man. She was with some women. Like what? Like, but like, you know what I'm saying? But it was so honest, and so that's why I think like her tapping into being a quote unquote female MC, like that's what pushed it over. That's what made some of the best art. So that's the reason, whatever. But I'm asking you that because I try to say, like, it's hard saying woman rapper. It just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like a lady rapper, it don't
It
flow off
comes
the
off the
tongue.
tongue different.
But if, if
Yeah, I
you but
got
if you
you.
would have told me that it bothered you, I was going to find a different way to say shit to feel like
I'm really not, I'm not offended by it. I just don't, it's not how I choose to necessarily label myself. But I mean, like I've done shows where it's like, all female lineup or whatever. Like I'm not about to be like, no, don't say that. I'm not that disagreeable or unreasonable, to know that people are still going to use it as an identifier, and that's okay. Um, what would be dope is for people to maybe have an evolving mindset more like yours, where they're willing to listen to subject matter that expands beyond their own comfort zone, and beyond their own experiences. Like me personally, I actually enjoy listening to rappers, male rappers, that are talking about their complexities in manhood as fathers, as sons, whatever the case may be. So when they're rapping about all this other shit that is stereotypical, you know what I'm saying? Like if it sounds good, I'm not going to deny that it sounds good, you know what I'm saying? But like, I can't necessarily relate to
that.
that. Um, you being vulnerable, even though I can't walk in your shoes, I can relate to vulnerability. You know what
100%,
I'm saying? I
100%.
can relate to transparency. And so, what I would like to see is people who are listening to music and wanting to enjoy music, because people complain about album concepts. People, they don't hear that no more. They don't hear, I think you mentioned this, how there's not 3 verses on a song no more or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that people miss, but it's like, well, damn, you got to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't just talk about it like this. It's this nostalgia when it could be present in this day and age too, if you actually gave it some type of regard. So I've been able to listen to experiences that weren't mine, but you like everybody knows pain. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? In some capacity. My pain ain't your same pain, but everybody knows that.
Right.
If you are masterful enough to communicate that pain, even if they don't know the exact storyline, they can't identify with the exact storyline, then you that's when you start becoming that wizard of your art. You know what I'm saying? But also, people just got to be willing to listen. And I feel like a lot of people, and I think that's the industry's fault as well. Just like, when you constantly putting out, a certain type of music over and over and over again, hearing something with more depth, hearing something with more layers to it, vulnerability, transparency. Like, for some people it's refreshing, and other people are just like, what the hell is this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to hear this shit right now.
So earlier you said when you was getting up, coming up, what I'm saying, going to the showcase, open mics, you was like, as a woman is playing in your face, right?
Mhm.
So, one of the reasons why we here, what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, is to talk about specifically like some of those like instances of people playing in your face as female artists, right? A woman in
Yeah.
the hip hop industry. So like just I remember like I remember before I left Baton Rouge, I had like a showcase going on. It was called Fade to Flow Sundays. It was at a barbershop every
Okay.
once a month, free food or whatever. Literally, we had artists from all over the country. Cezanne Ghost Dog came. We had people from North Carolina, from Chicago, from Minnesota. I had a nigga fly from Haiti. He flew from Haiti to Miami to Baton Rouge to come to a barbershop on the Sunday.
Mm.
Our third anniversary, it was sponsored. This is a barbershop rap show. It was sponsored by Hip Hop DX, and Wordsworth was our special guest, right? Um, some of the best shows that we did, I would say if we did 100 fade to flows, not 100, I would say if we did about 60 fade to flows, um, the top 5 shows were the all woman lineups, right?
Mm.
Um, I've always tried to foreground Black women in hip hop. I'm doing the shows and I noticed that like there wasn't a lot of women in the crowd. Like, damn, I don't have any women on my team putting the show together, right?
Mm.
And so there was some women who are artists who I would reach out to, and they wasn't responding to me, right?
Okay.
When I brought my sister Cannon on board, they responded to her. I'm
Mhm.
like, well, damn, that is my bad. I need to make because I didn't really understand like I remember, so I did 3. We called it, so it was fade to flow, right? But it was in the barbershop, right? So we would do it every March, the Women's History Month, and the ladies coined it slay the flow, right? When I say all the fellas got to the back, a woman was hosting, all women rappers, women DJ,
Mhm.
and we was there to make sure whatever y'all need, y'all straight. And when I say those were the best motherfucking shows, the most diverse shows, some of the best performances, and I would really get mad. I would really get mad because, and I say this a million times, there's so many women out there in rhyming that if they were given the same amount of opportunities I was, they would fuck over us every time.
Mm.
Most women, like I can do, like I remember I did, so one of my first big tours, it was when I dropped Black Messiah. This was 2019, and
Mhm.
I did 12 different shows in 15 days, 8 different states. I only paid for maybe 3 hotels in that 2 weeks time span. Because I was going 15 days, but I stayed on a whole bunch of people's couches, right? No
Yeah.
pistol. The way sexism is set up, women can't do that shit.
Hell no.
And so one of the sisters, my sister Mother Color, she's in Florida. I didn't know, so I'm bringing her out to I'm bringing her out to do these events, and she would come to the venue kind of late. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I didn't know that she was bringing her sons and getting them
Mm.
situated at the hotel before she can come rap.
Mm.
I have
Mm.
2 teenagers too. I would never think to do that.
Yeah.
She's a single mother, right? And so
Yeah.
it's so many things that like if women had the same, if it was safer for women, if it was safer, if it was safer for women, and that wouldn't and then it's like, and so this is what I saw being in the South compared to like, so when I go to the East Coast, I'll see more female MCs kind of in the scene. I think one of the drawbacks of being Southern women, especially if you're making more club type party music,
Mhm.
like a man can rap about sex and raunchiness and not have to worry about getting raped just because he rapped about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it wasn't safe for a woman to come from another state. And if if that's a thing, if she's on a Meg Thee Stallion type of vibe or whatever, she's gonna be extra cautious to answer my phone call as a male promoter because the type of music that she makes.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so people playing in your face. Well, have seen it. I've seen it happen, and it makes me angry. It really. And when I say some of these artists, like I saw sometime last year, uh Jermaine Dupri was talking about like it was hard for him to market Escape because they weren't
Mm.
tremendously attractive. Jermaine motherfucking Dupri, have you seen yourself, my nigga? That nigga top 10 ugliest niggas ever. And so I was but now you not an attractive
Ooh.
nigga, bro. This nigga's this before he got his teeth fixed, that nigga looks like a gremlin. But you can't but you can help produce Biggie though. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But it's so like the double standards, the misogyny, and it really makes me angry because it deprives us of dope ass hip hop. It deprives us of dope ass art. You understand what I'm saying? So on Facebook a couple months ago, you was posting about a bad situation you had. And I think you and I had talked into the comments. We had a brief conversation on it or whatever. So
Hmm.
I know you said you're ready to name names. If you want to name names now, you can. But overall, like, so I'm giving you my perspective of some of the struggles that I think a woman in hip hop, especially as an independent woman in hip hop, who don't have the budget to have a bodyguard and a team to travel with you. You got to go by yourself. You ain't got to watch the babies. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you could kind of give me like some of those experience that you dealt with, and if you want to give me the exclusive drop on the latest saga, please feel free to do so.
Um, well, yeah, so briefly I'm gonna touch on what you shared, the overall playing in my face. Um, when I was much younger, it was actually a lot harder. Because I was younger, because I was greener. Um, I needed to learn from people around me. As much talent as I feel I have, I never think that I can't sharpen my skill. And so, you know, that was important for me. And also just business insight, was important for me. And so I really wanted to learn. I wanted to get feedback. I wanted to be better. And unfortunately, being a younger woman at that time, like I'm talking like early 20, 19, 20, 21, you know, it was difficult to get that without feeling like there was something else attached to it, you know? And it because I can be a nice person, I smile a lot, I laugh a lot. I speak to people, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Stuff like that or
You were raised
whatever.
right.
Well, yeah, it's honestly, it's really just basic respect. And then the fact that, like, it's okay to smile at people sometimes, like, but sometimes that would just be turned into a different type of signal that people would act on. And it's just like, nah, that's not where I'm at. That's not where my head's at. And it limited my opportunity, at a younger age because I really had to rely on other people who had, studios and, just different resources and stuff like that. And if they were going solely off of my talent or my temperament or my personality or just rapport in general, like I would have been in there. But it wasn't just that. It was also, some things that they expected, and I knew that. And like I at the time, I just didn't like. You're not gonna dangle a carrot in front of my face, and like I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
It ain't worth all that.
Yeah. So it stopped. It kind of prevented me, what I was feeling, because I'm not gonna blame me stopping on somebody else, but what I was feeling kind of stopped me from like really pursuing music for a while. I never stopped writing, and I never stopped kind of working on myself, but like actually trying to make a career out of it, like I was good, I was good. Once I got older, um, and I'm more so like in my, now I'm in my late 20s or my early 30s or whatever the case may be. Um, so much changed. Of course, your financial situation can change. Um, the internet is way different, in a within a 10, 12 year span. And some stuff I didn't give a fuck about anymore. It's like, no, I'm just gonna do what I do, and whether I'm successful or not in somebody else's eyes, it is what it is. I'm going to make it happen. I kept my studio times and stuff like that very concise. I come in there with my lyrics and my, my music and all this other stuff. I don't have time to bullshit. I don't have time to talk,
We lock in. No, no games
stuff
in the
like
game.
that. Yeah, and what I'll say is that honestly, I wound up getting some I feel like sometimes I had a softer landing than maybe some other women because like when it came to like my boy, for example. Now I have two, but when it came to my boy, like I had a village. He's got his dad and grandma, grandpa, so it's just like if I needed to travel, if I needed to do something, I know that my child is going to be in good hands. Everybody doesn't have that opportunity. So hold on, I'm sorry. Hit you right back. Um, yeah, so everybody's not going to have that opportunity, but um, there was one other point that I wanted to make as well. And my thought process just messed me up real quick. Oh, also, like if you're a woman and you got a man, you got a boyfriend, husband, or whatever the case may be, you know, um, you have a certain layer of protection, which works in your favor, but it's like it shouldn't have to be that way. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm, 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 mm.
So like, if I got a man, that is, my bodyguard or whatever the case may be, and I'm protected because of that, it's just like, well, what happens, when, you know, they're not there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, that is what I have noticed now, that like when my better half isn't with me, at a show or whatever the case may be, I get approached differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't have that same layer of protection. You know what I'm saying? It's like some men, and I'm not about to generalize all men and stuff like that, but some men they only respect boundaries when other men are around. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, like, the last, so getting to the meat and potatoes, you know what I'm saying? So the last show that I did back in November, um, like, I didn't have my better half with me. And but I still, wound up doing the show. Like I'm not going to not do a show just because my significant other is not with me. But I plan for it differently. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, now it's just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Wait, wait,
like I
wait. How do you plan for it differently? No, this is fascinating. So how do you like walk me through that? Like, okay, if he's gonna be there compared to when he's not gonna be there, like how do you plan for it differently?
Um, I make sure I am gassed up all the way so I don't have to stop. If I'm driving like something, like that last show, for example, it was about an hour away from where I live. Now, because now I've been born and raised in Raleigh, but I live about an hour away from Raleigh now. You know, so I try to gas up before I go so I don't have to make any other stops. I'm a lot more mindful about where I park, at night. And then I'm a lot more cognizant of like just my body language,
Do you have
like
this is a man ass question, but like do you dress different?
I honestly I dress about the same.
Okay.
And what's funny though? It's just like I don't dress very like provocatively. Not that it matters, but it's just that that doesn't change and I think a lot of times men mistakenly feel like if somebody is
Right.
dressed provocative that somehow invites something,
Right.
but you don't have to dress provocative to. I had a t-shirt on that was covered, like and I still got, harassed that night, you know. So there was an individual there that was drunk or something. I don't know what he was, but like, I'm performing, and he's clearly like he's eyeing me in some capacity, but like I like to connect with my crowd. So like I make eye contact. I'm talking to people while I'm, just doing, the different call and response and stuff like that. So when I see people are engaged, I just take that for what it is, and it's just a vibe. And then when I get off stage, people will come up to me, people will talk to me, and I'm cool with all of that, as long as you're respecting boundaries, you know. Um, but he was just like, "Oh, you're so dope," da, 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 da. And I'm just like, "Thank you," And he's just like, let me, like it's like I kind of walk off, and then he walks on, and he's just like, "Let me, get you a drink. I want to buy you a drink." And it's just like I don't drink, and I don't necessarily drink in public, at least not when I'm by myself.
100%, 100%. Right, 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 right.
Yeah, and so like he didn't know what to do with that. Like he was just like, okay, now what's my next move? And it's just like he found his way to be around me, for the remainder of that evening. And long story short, like it got to a point where like he was trying to reach in, kind of like, how you just, I don't know, maybe like just try to get somebody's attention from the side or whatever. But he like reached in. I had my shirt, had my jacket on. He reached his arm into my jacket, and like he's groping like my left titty. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, 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 wait. He rests
Yeah.
inside your jacket, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He reached inside my jacket. And so I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, no. I backed up, and I was, I pretty much, it was pretty much the body language of like, nah, and kind of making my way over. And, thankfully I had, some peers, some brothers that actually like walked me to my car, made sure that I was good. Because like he was still like kind of lingering around, and at some point he left. But like, if you remember Players Club where old girl was
Myron, he's an old Myron ass nigga.
that was like that fear doesn't leave my head, because it's like that type of stuff does happen to women before, and they didn't gotta be strippers for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right.
So like, I was just like, okay, well, he's gone. But then it's just like, but I got maybe a couple blocks to my car. Is he gone? Or is he somewhere that I can't see? And that's why, I was just like, can y'all mind walking me to my car? You know what I'm saying? Those are things that if I had, my significant other with me, like I don't even have to think about it, because he gonna put somebody down,
Right, 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 right.
and he's very open minded. He knows that like most of these shows are male dominated, so men come up to me, and they speak life, they hug me and stuff like that, but they're very respectful most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, that was a bad situation. And like it really made me, it kind of gave me that little flashback, from when I was like early on trying to get a career started, and people just thinking that they could be handsy, or they could say certain things, or whatever the case may be. So I'm fine mentally, I'm fine emotionally, but you know if men overall, had to like experience that, or worry about experiencing that, like, oh, I hope I don't get groped at this show.
Never, never,
You know what I'm
never.
saying?
Like I said, it's just so many different things. That's like that's like I said, like it's a lot of places that I go that I go to for the first time, and I'll be staying at somebody's house, and I've never had a phone conversation with them. We've only spoken via email or Facebook Messenger. Never got on a Zoom. Never heard their voice, and I'm staying at their house, and women can't do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not safe. It's
yeah,
not safe because motherfuckers is roguish. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just like, and I really hate that. Like I said, because like I think about like the safety alone. You know, it seems like that takes away a lot of different touring, like especially as an independent artist, right? It takes
Mhm.
away a level of like opportunity. So therefore, you might not have the same opportunities to get in front of these people. You ain't got the same amount of opportunities to sell your merchandise because you performing. You might. I'm just not saying you, but like Alfred might do 100 shows a year, and there's a woman that's equally as talented to him that it's only really safe for her to do 10 or 12. It's not safe for them to fly to, by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
so
I've been there. Like
that's what I'm
I've flown.
saying.
I
Like
remember
it's
flying out
crazy.
to. I remember flying out to Oakland, and thankfully I was good. But like your head is on swivel all the time, and it's just like my thing is like game plan. Like the flight, the hotel, the Lyft or Uber or whatever. Get straight to the venue. Like if I'm walking to find something to eat or whatever the case may be, like I'm only gonna go this far. It's just
Right.
stuff like that, like I gotta be mindful, when I'm by myself. And I just feel like in certain environments, like why am I doing a show and getting roped? Like what the hell?
Like that's man, look. And so then you can speak on as much as you want to. The pay, the bread. I'm gonna get this out of you one way or another. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? But the bread. So has there ever been any times to where you felt like the money was a little funny?
Well, I do think that people have maybe tried to play with my worth.
Mm.
Um, but for me, I have a rate. Sometimes I adjust it depending on
Of course, of
the
course, of
need.
course.
You know what I'm saying? Like organizations, companies that hire me on and stuff like that, they write a check, no questions asked most of the
100%,
time.
100%,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like they, like if I'm flying out somewhere, they pay for that flight or that accommodation or whatever the case may be. I got a stipend, I got something. They take care of me. But there are curators or promoters or whatever that are smaller. They may not have the same budget or whatever, and I understand that. Especially when you have people that are touring, and you may not be familiar with that market yet. So you don't really know what your draw is going to be. And so I feel like that was kind of the situation with the show that I did in November. So the artist's name was Savant.
Savant.
Yeah, he's from South Carolina. Um, so he's is like a state away from me. I think it's like spelled like SXVXNT, something like that. I had actually never heard of him, but um like when this story gonna be funny when his quote unquote management reached out to me to do a show. We talked about compensation, just length of show, my usual details when I'm trying to inquire about um what they need from me, and how I'll be compensated for that. So that was like the very first conversation. And then, when it came to the time of the show, um, I did want to, meet management. Um, but I didn't see them, and that's cool. I was like, okay. But here's the thing: when it comes to venues, especially venues that you've never been before, it may be a hit or a miss. And honestly, like with indie artists, like I've performed in front of thousands, I've performed in front of hundreds, and I've performed in front of tens. So that insight gives me the ability to navigate appropriately.
Because at certain times, you just kind of know what it is, right? Like you were talking about, hey, if it's an organization, like as independent artists, we know who to tax and we know who
Yeah.
to show love to. We know when, okay, you know what? This show might not pay as much, but I'll be able to sell more merch. Or this show might not pay as much, but I really want to connect with this artist. So we know how to when it comes to our race and things of that nature, like, and and we know that regardless if it's 10 or 1,000, that we have to be the way we stay consistent is that the way we stay in business and keep our career going is being the most professional as possible, no matter what.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that being said,
Lord,
that show was on a Sunday. Um, and you know, Sundays can be hit or miss,
facts.
especially if you don't start on time. It's like it's like you start late if you want to on a Sunday, but there's people that want to go to work tomorrow, things of that nature. So I feel like promotion is a big deal, you know. And appropriate promotion, choosing the right venue, choosing the right days or times. But if for some reason, like because sometimes all you may be able to book is a Sunday, which is fine, but like you may have to navigate it differently than you would a Saturday when
A Friday
more
night,
people
right?
are going to be there.
Right.
So you don't want to start late. You don't want to start at 10, like. That's neither here nor there. You know, did the show and truthfully, like, he's a talented dude. He's a talented brother. Um, and he seemed very uh I guess personable, you know what I'm saying? And so, he wanted my information. So like, we keep in touch network, at some point maybe I'd perform in South Carolina. I mean, I'm gonna perform in South Carolina no matter what. But, you know, um, it's just like, okay, cool, Um, so I actually have never, even if somebody tried to play with the price point, I've never had nobody refuse to pay me. You know what I'm saying? Or just not pay me. You know what I'm saying? That's actually never happened. So this was the first time, you know. And so like usually I get paid right after the show. If for some reason I haven't gotten paid right after the show, like within 24 hours, I usually, I got something coming.
Hit the cash up.
Um,
Something.
right. You know what I'm saying? Leave it with something. But yeah, and so I noticed I hadn't received, my payment. And so I reached out to management. We'll get to that storyline in a second. Reached out to management and I was just like wanted to inquire about the time frame as far as, payment because of what we discussed already before booking the show. And no response. I think, a couple of days later, I just tried to reach out again, you know what I'm saying? And there was no response. So a couple of days later, I actually reached out to Savant and I was just like, you know, can you can you hit your manager up for me, because I haven't been paid yet and I'm not getting any response. Now, mind you, before the show, the response was boom, 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 boom. So
It bees like that. Niggas get quiet when there's a balance, boy. Niggas get
yeah.
quiet when there's a balance, boy.
So then I get an email from this manager who is basically saying, the tour because I think but at that point in time his tour, Savant's tour had wrapped up and he was like, the tour I guess wasn't as profitable as they thought it would be, and so they had to recoup some costs and da 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 da, and they hope to pay everyone, by the 1st of December or something like that. I
That ain't got nothing to
I
do with
was
you.
just like
You're not a part of the tour. Like, what you talking about? Like, nigga, I'm one of the coast. Like,
so I'm griping to my better half about it or whatever, and he's an Aries. He got a different type of fire. He's like it's like hell no, And so I'm just like the money part, it stopped being about the money a long time ago. It was just the ethics behind it, and something just didn't feel right. So I was like, I'm going to look this guy up, and I'm going to now. If anybody know me, I do background checks on people that I'm around, and just and I have to just. I mean, I got kids. I got. I got a job and stuff like that. So I have to be careful around, I have to be careful about who I consort with. So I can find anything for the most part, you know. And so I'm doing a deep dive on this guy because I'm just like,
Oh
who is this
man.
person? Who is this manager? This name and the because the page was Sound of Kanai, and the name on it was like a Roe Watson type name or whatever. But like I'm long story short, this person does not exist. So
Wait. Come again. Come again, ma'am.
there is no manager. Um, so apparently, um, the artist had basically created another entity that they were operating, as management for. Um,
The old burner email manager thing.
yeah. And
I'm not laughing. That's crazy. Like people still doing that shit 26, 25, 26. Okay, all right, all right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Get it how you live it. I'm not even that part is it's hilarious to me, but it's at the same time I'm just like,
Nigga.
people do what they do. And that's a conscious decision that you've made on your own. And hey, I mean, if it has helped him, then it's helped him. But my thing is that you got me talking to an imaginary person, and then when I ask you about this person, you're just like, I'm gonna make sure he follows up with you ASAP, you know. And it's
And
just like,
that nigga stuck to the lie, boy.
when Spider-Man be pointing at each other like,
That nigga, oh, bro, that nigga stuck to the lie. He could at least had a damn AI assistant or something. Put a bot on that shit or something, man.
and so,
Oh, bro.
I was just like, I said, nah, this can't be. This can't be. This can't be. And I wound up because there was a certain method of payment that they asked if I was okay with. And at the time I was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I just need some confirmation. I was like, it's here, I see it, but I just need some confirmation. So I sent in a request for my payment um via that payment method. And like the first and last government name comes up. The number that was saved in my phone comes up. Like those things come up. So I was just like, yeah, okay. So that's what that is. Um, Now this just feels weird. Now this shit just feels weird. You know what I'm saying? And now like I feel like I'm gonna be playing this game with you back and forth. I just don't have the time for it. The like I said, the money aspect, the money, I'm not getting the money. And I've since made that money, several times over. My significant other just like, man, like he also is very much the principality of it all. Like
Yeah,
he's very
yeah,
much that type
absolutely.
of person. And so like we're both feeling it over the ethic part of it, not the financial part of it. That doesn't mean that I'm not owed. I don't care how much it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still owed that regardless, however big or small, I'm still owed that. But it that part is so much lower on the totem pole, you know. And I felt like maybe it like I was being ducked so much because this could have been the way that he's done business with other people too. So he may be owing a lot of people, you know. That's me rationalizing it in my head. But the flip side of that also is that, I do, bookings myself, you know, I do everything my damn self. I do everything by my damn self, you know. And sometimes like I feel like when they see a woman handling things on their own in some capacity, they feel like that woman can be played with, you know. Um, and so it's also like what flashback, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what how am I being viewed right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I a pushover? Am I like somebody that people feel like they could con or whatever the case may be? I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say that I experienced it all the time, because that's not the case. There's a lot of people, especially, in North Carolina, that if I have a working relationship with you, or I've worked with you before or whatever, like I know your ethic, and like I know that certain things are just not going to happen. Certain
Right, right,
things
right,
like
right, right,
this
right, right, right.
are not going to happen. But I just feel like you should regard artists, especially being one yourself, in a much higher fashion. And so it feels predatory. It feels dismissive. It feels kind of like I mean, it's definitely a fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you were just like, look, bruh, look, sis, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm broke. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would accept that
Right.
before I would accept
Because
absolute
here's the thing about it.
silence.
Like I said, like for me, I've I'm not the type. Of course, from when I first started to where I am now, I've definitely leveled up, right? But
Yeah.
there's some places that I will go that I did in the beginning. Simply, sometimes like you might start off doing this particular event, and the event doesn't necessarily grow with you. And so,
Yeah.
what you're asking at this venue with this promoter, you're not going to ask these people this because they don't have the capacity, right? But they treat you right.
Yeah.
For me,
Hmm.
as long as I'm treated well, because I'm not Killer Mike. People compare me to Killer Mike. I'm not Killer Mike. I don't whatever. I'm not no super duper duper star. You know what I'm saying? I'm an underground conscious rapper when I'm not being history teacher, right? And the dad and the father, right? So I understand that, especially post pandemic, the money's way different. The venues are
Hmm.
different. The promoters are different, right? A lot of people quit. You know what I'm saying? So treat a motherfucker right. And the basics of it is just do what you say that you're going to do. Because I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. If
Yeah.
you ask for 30 minutes, I'm gonna give you that 30 minutes. If you tell me to be here by 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be there by 8 o'clock. If you tell me my set time is at 9:15, I'm gonna be on stage at 9:15. By 9:45, I'm gonna be at my merch table for the rest of the night. I'm gonna be polite. I'm going to be a consummate professional. I'm going to do what else, regardless if it's 2,000 to 20 in the crowd. I'm gonna do my job, right?
Yeah.
Do what you say that you're gonna do. If you can't do it, you got just talk to me.
Yeah. I mean, like,
But you didn't even get the dignity or respect of talking to a real human being. And you know what I'm saying? And like you talking to a goddamn a
I've been
bird
talking to a
email.
whole shell of a person.
Right.
I'm just like, man,
An
this is
email avatar
foolish.
and shit. So wait. Did this happen the same night where Buddy was harassing you?
Yeah. So yeah. I
Oh
mean, and
no.
I mean, of course, like that's just a random stranger, like, I don't think he knew how much he would add to the regret of
I'm just
that
saying, but like
that
that that's
evening.
an
But
awful fucking rap night. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a bad
and
rap.
and I know you smoked it. I know you did your job. I know you did your thing. So it's like that's oh man, that,
Here's
that's
the
that's
thing.
that's a whammy like a motherfucker for real. Like
Yeah, like here's the thing that I want people to understand, that if they want to work with me in some capacity, I'm a very reasonable person.
X.
I'm actually pretty easy to talk to about what you have, what you don't have. Sometimes I see the vision before I see, what you may be affording,
100%,
and
100%.
sometimes that vision could reap more benefit, in long term than me just like, nah, bro, you gotta pay me. So there's like, it's that insight, to move, a certain type of way. But if you have to have a certain just ethical level. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a certain ethical level when you step to me. So transparency is going to be your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Authenticity is going to be your best friend. When it comes to approaching me for anything, feature, show, whatever the case may be. And whatever you say you're going to do, even if you realize you can't. Like, I'm an artist too. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist too. Now, I've never shorted nobody on I've never shorted anybody on anything because I will take money out of whatever, whatever to make sure that.
In fact, the night with Cesar, we didn't make the money.
Mhm.
I go to the venue and they was like, look, you didn't make no money, so we just gonna zero it out. I had to walk my ass across the street to that Chase ATM.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I get it. Like, but I told him what I was going to do. He came from North Carolina, did his job. If I gotta take the L, I'm gonna take the L because he came. You know what I'm saying? But like, niggas is unethical. So let me ask you this thing. So, like, first of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that niggas play in your face, play with your money. I'm sorry that you was harassed and touched and all the type of shit. It really like I say, not because you're here, but it makes me upset because like it's just not right. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when things like this happen, we deprive ourselves of like dope art, dope people, good people in the culture. So I'm sorry
Mhm.
that happened to you. So like, but I mean, I saw in your bio that you deal with mental health, right?
Mhm.
You deal with mental. I was a mental health counselor for 3.5 years. Actually, I left that to be a full time rapper. So like, being touched, being harassed, and having people play in your face, like how has that this share as much as you want, but like
Mhm.
how has that been for you mentally? How have you kind of coped with it and dealt with it? And like also, I guess another question is like how important is for artists, being a woman or whatever, how important is it for artists to make sure to take care of their mental health?
Um, well, like, I guess the first part to that question is I've had to long story short, I've had to be just a little bit more, I don't know if mean is the word, but I guess a little bit more assertive and I guess more apparent just with my boundaries. So, I think that as I'm kind of getting a tougher skin, you know, with the disappointments that I've had with the music scene, um, I move different. I move different in how I communicate. I It's unfortunate, but like I can't smile as big as I'm doing on this camera. Hey, there's a certain way though that I have to conduct myself in order to make sure that I'm being, respected enough to ensure I get the basic shit, like paid. Like, like paid, or that my name is spelled right on the flyer. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just there's just certain things where it's just like, okay, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need. And most people who I've had a working relationship with, they kind of already are just kind of on point already in a lot of different ways. And that's probably why we mesh well. And if they call me for a show, I'm not worried about them paying me or whatever the case may be, because they're going to pay me in some capacity. I'm not even worried about that part.
Right.
How long you want my set to be? I got
Gotcha.
you. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things like that. But for people that are like kind of just cold calling, like, nah, I need to know some more things. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to know and this is, I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but people will hit me up for features and things like that, and it's just like, okay, are you on the offender registry? I got to check shit like that now. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, yes. So, like
Damn, I was thinking you would say that. That's type of, I mean, damn. All right. Damn. All right.
I mean, I have to, and I'm not even judging people for having like a criminal past or criminal history, but there's some things where it's just like that specifically reading details. I can't collaborate with you.
I always say like when it comes to like the quote unquote my cancel list, right?
Mhm.
I have a hard line on women and children. If you're harming women and children, that's an automatic. And then not far from that is why it being a white supremacist. You know what I'm saying? So from
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, yeah, you can't be Diddy, R. Kelly, and then down the line from that is Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like, but no, I feel you. Like, I've never even thought about this shit. Like, if somebody called me for a feature, do I need it? That's, I mean, but it's real out here though, and
It's real.
it sucks because like this Diddy shit happening, but like, if Me Too really hit hip hop, if it really hits rap, like it hit movies, oh niggas is cooked. A lot of my favorites is hell. You can just read the damn. In college I read the Superhead book.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of that
remember
stuff was
the.
not consensual, and she named some of my favorite rappers and basketball players, goats. You know what I'm saying? Like it sucks. Like on my resume, my college resume or whatever, and even when I'm a hip hop head resume, I'm very apprehensive because one of my biggest accomplishments was when I was in college in summer 2007. I was able to intern for Russell Simmons at the Hip Hop Summit
Mm,
Action Network, and living in Harlem, working in Manhattan. But it's like,
yeah,
damn, like how much do I want to? Now I used to put Russell Simmons Hip Hop Summit Action Network. Now I'll just put Hip Hop Summit Action Network and hope nobody really realizes that it's for Russell Simmons. You know,
yeah.
like seriously, because it's just
I
like
feel
this
you.
dude, this motherfucker extradited himself. You know what I'm saying? So he can't get caught up on charges or whatever. Because Buddy was a monster, right? And so it's like, but that's
It's a lot. It's a lot, but I just have to move a certain way, and that does protect my mental health.
gotcha,
There's certain opportunities I'm just not taking. I'm not working with this person.
gotcha.
I'm not going to smile in the face of this person just because whatever whatever reason, just because they have an opportunity that could benefit me. At the end of the day, like I'm kind of off that anyway, where it's just like, maybe when I was younger and I was a little bit more green and stuff like that, they try to get these people that are a little bit more green with things like exposure and stuff like that. Man, I don't give a fuck about exposure. And I didn't even know you beforehand. So like, how much exposure are you? Like, people don't know you and you
Right,
talking
right, right,
about
right,
giving me
right, right, right,
exposure.
right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's certain people that I'm just not going to consort with, and that helps me. I have to guard myself. I have to guard myself. And I have to understand that comes with, sometimes it comes with losing opportunities. Sometimes it comes with losing money or whatever the case may be. I'm all right with that. I make decent money, without that. I love to create music. I love to create performances and experiences and stuff like that. And I'll do it on my own dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine.
Right.
Lord willing, somebody actually wants to invest in that, that's cool. But I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed in a lot of ways. If times get hard, I slow down, but I don't stop. So it is what it is. What I would suggest for other artists to protect their mental health, um, is just being more firm about your boundaries. For real, for real. Like it. If you know that there's a threshold, that like there's a certain type of behavior you're not going to, you're not going to entertain, or if there's a certain type of, even a certain style of music. Like, I've had to turn down features that would have actually given me a nice bit of exposure. And when I heard the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I would love to, I'm not gonna name them. I would love to work with the individual, at some point in the future, if possible. But that particular song, when I heard it, I was like, I couldn't do it. You know, it went against a lot of what I actually feel when it comes to humanity and inclusivity. It's just for making sure everybody feels, safe and respected and stuff like that. And I could have just been like, man, it's just a song, you know what I'm saying? It's just a song, it'll get me there or whatever. But like, there's people that come up to me and talk to me about how I've impacted them. And I be thinking that shit ain't real sometimes. It feels surreal because people will come up to me and talk about, you know, I was going through this and I was going through that, and like listening to this song where I just saw you perform for the first time, and like you really touched my life or whatever. These are people from all walks of life, all religions, all backgrounds, all everything, and I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really, like, I'm a sensitive person, so like I be crying and all types of stuff. But I'm not going to do things that will go against what I believe. nor would I do things that I feel would like alienate or hurt other people, you know. Now if it's just a matter of like skill, I'm gonna hurt your feelings all day because like but like that's hip hop. But you know what I'm saying? But like I'm talking about
They don't want no
actual
smoke with the wolf. Come on, man.
I'm kind of getting to a point where like I really have to tap into my confidence factor as well because I am like a person where like when people do like come up and praise me, I'm just like, wow, like I think that it's good to have that humility. But it's sometimes you have to think about how other people are looking at you and how they might want to pounce and be predators, when it comes to your energy, your time, your well-being, whatever the case may be. And I don't have a lot of time, like I wear a lot of hats. So I'm doing a lot of stuff, in the community with my kids, taking care of other family members and stuff like that. So don't waste my time. Don't waste my time with bullshit. You know, and I would like other artists, especially some of the artists that I've actually met that are like really dope individuals, like good people, like just protect your work, protect your work, but also just protect your feelings, protect your mental, and certain things just don't invite in. You'll be okay. You'll find another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to feel like this opportunity is gonna make or break them because it's not.
And listen, I said this on a Facebook post a couple years, maybe a couple years ago. Period. Go to therapy. Rappers go to therapy.
Oh
Rappers
yeah.
find your therapist and talk about these rap niggas to your therapist. It's okay. I'm not because all artists deal with ego and insecurities,
hmm
and like having good mental health and being able to like keep your insecurities and ego in check plays a lot into your success in your career. I know so many talented people who can't get out their own way
Yeah.
because their mental health is just all over the place. They're
Yeah.
checking it or whatever. You know, especially us black men. A lot of times we feel like we feel like we ain't got nobody who gonna listen to us, and so we
hmm
pick up that bottle, we roll that blunt up, and that be the only thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? No, niggas is tooting lines and whatever, pop, whatever. So for all my for like me and Alfred talk about this all the time, right? Right? Like me and Alfred be talking on the phone. What he going through? This rap shit that we're talking about that you're frustrated with. Have you talked to your therapist about this? You know what?
Mm.
I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And sometimes it's good. I mean, just with therapy, period. It's good to have somebody that's not in it to give you a different, fresh perspective, right?
Yeah.
I got to get my insurance situation. I'm definitely going back to my therapist soon. But when I was in therapy, we definitely talking about rap niggas and rap shit or whatever. Um, to wrap it up, what are your rapper New Year resolutions?
My rapper New Year
What
resolutions.
what in 26? What are some things that you want to do or want to accomplish on some rap shit?
Um, on some rap shit, I actually want to expand my sound. Um, I have been, doing some experimenting, but it's more so like, I still want it to feel authentic to me. So it's really about what I hear, what I feel, and not necessarily like, I want people to like what I make, but I have to also just kind of be authentic to my growth, and even still my base, because my base is it's still my base. My home base is me, but like I want to, kind of expand my sound. I plan to tour this year. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm kind of scared about it actually.
I understand.
I'm kind of scared about it, so for several reasons, but like really getting out there and traveling, I'm looking forward to doing that. And there's maybe like a slightly different vein. It's still music related. It's still, I guess, rap related in a sense. But I have a couple of other projects that are not albums. I have an album that I'm planning on releasing in 2026. But I have a couple other projects that are not albums, but they will be relevant music wise and hip hop wise. And so I'm excited, because those are coming together, and I can't wait to share it with folks. But it'll I'm putting on a few different hats right now. So
I'm looking forward to all of it. Where can we find you online?
Um, you can, if you want to learn about me for the first time, you can go to my website, lenajacksonmusic.com, and kind of get insight on me. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing the most currently, I usually, post to my socials first, because I just get a lot of, interaction there. L Jack Power is my IG. You can find my Facebook page through that as well. My music Facebook page. I do not mess with Twitter, so you're not gonna find me on Twitter. And I'm also not on TikTok currently.
Man, I got bullied into a start on the TikTok yesterday. They finally got they made get on TikTok, bro. They made my I've been fighting
Yeah.
it literally since it's been out. But I was like, man, they kind of bullied me into it. But I'm fighting it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I actually am going to get on TikTok, but it's going to be very strategic.
Same, same, same,
So
same 100%.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it's going to be very strategic. So yeah, you'll see, you'll see.
All right,
I
ladies and
got I got
gentlemen,
I got a little bit more work to put in with one of my projects in particular, but yeah, you'll see. So I'm looking forward to it.
she's worked with MOP. She's worked with Daddy O. She's been on NPR. I like right before I got on, I watched the Say 4 or 5 freestyle. Got a crazy record with Knots with her son in the music video. You know what I'm saying? So like we talked. My fault. Maybe I didn't talk enough about your music, but I wanted to hear your story. But this is an incredible artist. I only bring people who's really out here. And Miss Lena Jackson is absolutely really out here. Till next time, Allah Mahabe, freedom.